Yo, Screwballs MMA here, and we're here to talk about the generational pay-per-view that was UFC 328. Best card of the year so far. We'll get to the main and co-main in a second, but I'll start out by talking about Ochoa versus Clayton Carpenter. Pretty good performance by Ochoa. He just kind of outworked him in every round, ripped shots to the body, sort of competitive third round. Clayton got a takedown, jumped the back a few times in this fight. But really, Ochoa just kind of styled on him in the striking, landed a good rear hook to the body early. Started getting away from it later, but good leg kicks. It was a pretty decent performance overall. I'll get to matchmaking later on, but I thought it was a pretty good performance. Clayton Carpenter's not bad, and just schooled him. Next up, Susurkaev. Susurkaev. This guy's a fraud. I think he is going to get fraud checked by somebody in the near future. And I think it's going to be bad. I think he's going to get chinned. He does too much, and he works his way back into the fight. He's not a good early starter. He's not a fast finisher. I thought DeJordan won the first round. Tsurukayev won the second and was winning the third pretty clearly, and then he wrapped up a rear naked choke him. Put DeJordan Santos out cold, but DeJordan's not very good. And he was able to land at a pretty high clip, especially early, just sticking through his straight shots. Jab, 1-2, 1-1-2. But no, Susurkaev, he should start grappling more, I think. His grappling's pretty dominant. Every time he's gone to his grappling, he has won via submission, but he can't get it early either, so I don't really know what he's supposed to do. His striking defense is very poor, and I just think he's not super good. I don't think we should jump him up quicker. I think give him a few guys outside the top 15 yet. He is by no means ready. I'll talk to somebody who should be fighting in the top 15 in the same weight class, a better prospect. Basically, Pat Sabatini failed takedowns for 3 straight rounds. That's about it. Absolute terrorism of the sport. I'm not even going to talk about it. Kopylov, crafty underdog pick by me. Kopylov was low-key getting worked in this fight. But Tulio backs up very recklessly. And Kopylov started to counter on it, and he would throw a lead hook, straight right hand, and this thing was just sniping Tulio. Because Tulio, he hit Kopylov honestly in the rearview mirror with about 2 minutes left in the second round. He was just touching him up, doing nothing crazy. He wasn't really putting a beating on him, but he was just outworking him, outdogging him, and he was winning very clearly. And then boom, pop, pop, right down the pipe. Drops Tulio bad. Kind of clinched there for the fence. Tulio recovers a bit. And then in round 3, early on in the round, same exact combination, literally the same sequence, kind of right across the black line Tulio was, and then just 3-2 down the middle, drops him. Kopylov, I think, dropped him twice in that sequence because there was 3 knockdowns scored. Drops him again in that sequence, starts ground and pounding a little bit. And then Tulio started to work his way back into the round. But still, based on damage and what accumulated, 2 and 3, clear to Kopylov, unanimous decision win. Not a bad win. I think Tulio's quite decent on the feet. He's quite a polished striker, but it's a decent one for Kopylov. Good to get back in the win column. Looked a little less gun shy, was still a bit gun shy early. Definitely been more hesitant since his losses. Jim Miller, Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon might stink, to be honest. I thought he was quite decent. Like, I thought he was in that top kind of 20-25. Win over Nazareth Haparas, beating up Bobby Green, which we'll get to, which honestly is pretty impressive. Jim Miller got absolutely annihilated by Bobby Green. But he shot a few takedowns. He was getting touched. He got cracked early on the feet by Jim Miller. Got taken down, threatened the gilly, but couldn't quite get it. They got back to their feet, and he shot another takedown off he caught a kick, Gordon did. Went for a takedown. Latched up the guillotine. He started to slip out. Oh, sorry, yawning. He started to slip out. And then he wrapped his other hook in, rolled him through. Got the tap. Round 1. It's a good one from Jim Miller. He still got it. He can still crack a bit. His speed is definitely gone, but he could still crack. He still has good submission skills. If you get lazy, he will latch something up. Grant Dawson, Rebecki. Rebecki's fight IQ is questionable. He lost this fight basically via him initiating grappling. Round 1, Grant Dawson kind of jumped the back there, had him landing good ground and pound shots. And by the way, a judge gave Rebecki round 1, which is ludicrous. I don't know how you would do that. He had his back taken for almost the entire round. He got busted open with ground and pound shots, but yeah, so basically it was a very good first round. He's starting in some rear naked choke. Grant Dawson had the body triangle for most of the round. Round 2, Rebecki throws a hook and then steps back with a lead right hook, and it like came over the top, and it sent Grant Dawson down. Grant started to recover, throwing some like flicky kicks out there, trying to get him away. And Rebecki just clearly won the round. Just be a, oh, sorry, yawning here. Rebecki clearly won the round. Just did it a bit on the feet. Round 3, back and forth kind of round on the feet, and then Rebecki goes for a takedown. Or not goes. He initiates grappling, gets taken down himself, gets his back taken. Fights out a few tight rear naked choke and like the arm triangle from the back, an arm in RNC from the back a few times. Fights him off, and then with 18 seconds left, Grant Dawson wraps one around the face, bit of a face crank. Started to slip it under. Didn't even hide the hand. He had cleared the hand, but he just kind of palmed the front of his face, tapped him out. Round 3, good win for Grant Dawson. Didn't really expect him to get it done. His chin is definitely suspect. Yaroslav Amosov. This guy's grappling is nasty. I said in the lead up, he's the second best grappler in this division. Yes, better than Sean Brady, I think. His submission offense is very good, and his striking's not bad either. Round 1, Amosov's popping the head back of Alvarez, just kind of popping his head back a bit. Takes him down repeatedly, but not a lot of damage. Round 2, he starts to get touched up a bit on the feet. Joel's starting to find his rhythm. 1-2, 1-2, 3-2, 1-2. And then he throws a jab, Alvarez does, and Amosov dips underneath, gets to the body lock, gives him some air time, slams him on the ground, straight into an arm triangle. Really tight. He's a really sticky grappler. He is not like big wrestling. He's not going to shoot big doubles, but he can chain into it. He gets really tight to the body. Not a lot of room to shrimp or escape. He's stuck to you like glue. Good win for Amosov. And by the way, no way this guy's 32. This guy's got to be like 39. Next up, Gautier versus Diaz. Gautier, actually, I think he looked quite good in this fight. I think a lot of people may be disappointed to get the round 1 finish, but he looks fairly patient out there to like an extent. He does sometimes overthrow it until he gets to the fence, but if you're gonna overthrow, it's probably the best place to do so. He did a good work. So I was saying this while I was watching live that he should have started working the Aussie. Aussie Diaz was very worried about getting chin, had a high guard, was moving quite well on the outside. And then in between rounds, his corner told him to start working the body. And he did. Opened up with a few nice right hands to the body underneath the high guard. Good left hook to the body. And then Aussie Diaz kind of threw this little lazy jab and just countered right over top of it. Put him down, kind of folded him for a second. And he started to recover, but I thought it was a good stoppage. Some good hammer fists for Gautier. I thought it was quite good. Next up, main card. Green versus Jeremy Stephens. Good win for King Green. He really just put the work on him. He just touched him up early, cracked him pretty bad. kind of tripped him to the ground. It wasn't really a knockdown. He kind of got him to the ground. He kind of started to recover. Then he took him down, got blasted underneath, took him down, landed some nasty ground and pound, and then he latched up the choke pretty nicely. Jeremy Stevens, I believe, retired. Yeah, good win for Bobby Green. He's been looking pretty good in his career. He still has speed even at his age. And the thing I said in the lead up and why I picked Bobby Green, if Bobby Green is faster than you and just like a tiny bit better, it doesn't even need to be that much better, like skill wise, he will look levels above you. Because if he's winning, it's by he's showboating, he's moving his head, he's dipping. But if he's losing, it's really bad. So there's kind of no in between for Bobby Green. He either gets brutally finished, but it's hard to outpoint Bobby Green when he's working, which is why I think Lance Gibson Jr. is maybe quite good because he did make it close by going point for point with him, which is pretty hard for Bobby Green to not just get styled on overall. Sean Brady, Joaquin Buckley, New Mansa, Joaquin Buckley. What did you do for a year? He got annihilated in this fight. Before this fight, he said they were fighting for their contracts. The loser that's going to get cut. Cut them both. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But maybe cut them both. This fight was abysmal to watch. Sean Brady's hammer fists were pretty soy, but at the same time, like if he starts to get grappling off, he will dominate. He just passed rating him out. You could see Buckley. He was doing good with the initial takedown defense, especially early, stuffing the head well. So there was that. But it was when he threw kicks or if he got backed up all the way to the fence, he was able to wrap his hands on that double leg and take him down. But in the open, if he kept center space and kind of worked a bit of a slower game, he could have, but it just started snowballing into I'm losing, I have to start swinging hard, and that just opened up more takedowns for Sean Brady. But no, Sean Brady, he had one good sequence, I believe, is in the second round of ground and pound, but a lot of his ground and pound is pretty weak. He should mix in, I think, some more elbows because he's postured up and he's landing these little hammer fists, and they're not really doing much. But it's a decent one for Sean Brady, I think. Very dominant. Joaquin Buckley has no wrestling defense at all. But no, it's a pretty good win for Sean Brady. He does have very smothering grappling. Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Retards are going to tell you that Volkov didn't win this fight. And if a retard tells you that Acosta was robbed, cut that person off immediately. Never speak to them again. This was a clear 2-1 win for Volkov. He easily won the first and the second round. Waldo landed like a few good jabs in the first round. Nothing of consequence. He was getting pieced up to the body. He was getting touched up to the calf, getting hit with big teeps and body kicks. Round two, clearly Volkov rocked him. Whatever. Round three was close too. I don't think 30-27 is even that crazy. Everything Costa was throwing at the end where DC was screaming at the top of his lungs just weren't landing. So, there's that. But no, I thought Volkov looked alright in this fight. Not his best performance. Definitely not as good as he looked against Gon. But he looked good. He was chewing up the calf. He's landing good shots. Acosta didn't win this fight by any means. So, no, decent win for Volkov. Clearly won the fight. 2-1. Now time for my main event. Joshua Van. Everyone, and I see you guys. You guys were in the comments, oh, Joshua Van is no grappling. Van is this, he's that. If you weren't riding with Van for this fight, don't hop on the bandwagon now. I said he was going to knock out Tyra, and he did knock out Tyra. He put belt to ass in this fight. He was touching him up. He literally big brothered Tetsuro Taira. Other than some things, I will get into the actual fight itself, but Joshua Van is very good, and he's only improving. He's only been doing this sport for about 7 years, and he is the best flyweight on the planet, and he will beat Pantoja in the rematch. But anyway, round one, I was worried. Um, Basically, Tetsuro Taira, they're striking on the feet a bit. Immediately gets ran over with a massive. Oh, sorry, my monitor flickered off for a second. He immediately got ran over with a takedown. Taira did a good job just sliding straight in the mount off of. Sorry, good drink of water here. Um, did a good job of just like getting in the mount, passing the guard, and just getting dominant position over Van. But he wasn't able to get much with it. He was really looking for the back because that's by far his best place to be when it comes to chokes, ground and pound. That is his finishing position, but he couldn't get it. Van was able to use butterfly hooks very well because of his short frame. Not only is he short, his legs are short too. He's like mainly in the torso there. I can attest to this. I have a similar kind of build, just 100 pounds heavier, not quite. Uh, but it's very easy when you're in mount and somebody who's long, they can't lace their legs as much when you're short. So for Taira, it really would have benefited him to almost stay in the half guard over the mount, where he can trap one of those legs, and it's harder for him to shrimp out or get to the side control and keep him there. But yeah, he was able to get the butterfly hooks and just get out of mount multiple times. But no, round one, clear round for Taira. Um, just out grappled him overall. I was starting to get a little worried here. I was like, oh. Um, Round two, Joshua Van stuffs a good takedown. He's touching him up on the feet. Uh, Also, should mention Taira was doing a good job early with the calf kicks. Um, they didn't they were like they're really solid calf kicks and they would off balance Van, but it wasn't really doing anything to his movement. But then so he gets a takedown, gets a bit of control. He's winning the round probably a little bit, and then boom, Van lands a nasty right hand over the top. And this thing just sits down Taira. And I mean sits him down. Um yeah, he just sent him straight down and just he smacked his head at the back of the canvas so hard. The fact that he didn't get knocked out there is crazy. I think Van might have woken him up with the ground and pound, sent him back to life. Round three, and so round three, I'm like, okay, it might be over for Taira. And it pretty much was. This round was brutal. So, round one, they're opening up. Taira is able to get a few takedowns, but again, Van just gets straight back up. And then Van starts really finding the mark with his jab. He's just pinging in and out, jabbing him in the face. Taira's nose got bust up, and he's clipping him over and over again. And Taira goes for a takedown. Van stuffs it, gets like a whizzer, and blasts a knee that just sent Taira stumbling everywhere. Taira's not moving his head. He's getting touched up body head. And then when Van drops him, Van jumps on his back and got so he gets like a bit of a rear naked choke attempt. Couldn't hide the hand, and it was like, oh, he's probably gonna get out of this. And he did. And then he locked one in that I was like, oh, Taira might tap. Like this was a close rear naked choke, but Taira stayed composed, got out, got back to his feet, and it wasn't much better for him up there. He got touched up again. And then round four, something has to be said about Taira's heart. He is made out of something different because that was a brutal second round or third round. 10-8 in my opinion. Maybe not because Taira was able to get a takedown at the end of the round. Somehow he just survived out, got a takedown, was able to recover a bit. So I could see that saving him from a 10-8, but I think the cumulative damage, the submission attempts, I think was too much to that moment of success to really unswayed it from a 10-8 round. Round four, Van kind of seemed to take off the gas a little bit, used a as I was saying before my headset died and rudely interrupted me. Taira was able to just kind of touch him up a bit, and I think he was able to get back to his calf kicks, Van was a bit slowed down. He's kind of just sitting on the outside, still landing some good shots, some good jabs. Tyra runs him over, pretty much wins the round mostly off that. Uh, Sliding in and out of mount, kind of, sort of thing. Able to bounce back. It was a good bounce back round for Tyra. Round 5 opens up. Van gets straight back on the gas, landing 71% clip in round 5. A lot of people were mad at the stoppage. I could see it if it was like an early, if that was like round 1 or 2 or 3. And you're thinking, oh, that's maybe a bit early. Let him fight. But at the same time, he took so much damage in this fight. I don't think anything was getting better for Tyra. We probably would have got a cooler finish, which would have been nice for Van, but Tyra's really young. I think it could have been bad if they let that keep going because he was too tough to quit. And I don't know. I could have seen like a Aldo Peter Yan style round 5, and I'm kind of happy Tyra didn't have to go through that. But I do understand a bit of a complaint on the early stoppage. It wasn't bad. I thought it was fine. I'm not mad about it. On to the main event. Here's the thing about the Chechnya and you guys. I'm the best underdog champ ever. Clear win for Strickland, I think. I thought he won 2-3-5 very clearly. Round 1, Chimaev runs him over. Gets a few gets back position. Threatens a few rear naked chokes, few face cramps. Sean Strickland's able to just get out of it, work his way out, and just basically survive the round. Not a lot of damage from Chimaev. I think if he could have salvaged a draw here if he had done more ground and pound in round 1 instead of looking for a submission. But it's good work from Strickland to reverse round 2. Strickland starts to land a little bit. And then he's landing pretty well. And then about 2 minutes into the round, Chimaev shoots a takedown, gets stuffed, shoved to the ground, and just folds onto his back. And I thought here, this is when I knew Sean Strickland I thought was gonna win. Like I was like, oh, it's done. Chimaev, I'll get to it. He was able to get back in, but 3 minutes of just top half guard, pretty much for Sean Strickland of control on top, just pounding him in. Round 3, another good round for Strickland. Moving on the back foot, just able to land good crosses. Few good rear hooks he was able to land as Chimaev would overextend. He would just land a loopy hook over the guard with it didn't have too much pop on it, but he was just looping hooks in, landing his jab well, exchanging jab. Chimaev has a really good jab. That is one thing I think people maybe underrate is his jab. I think Chimaev has a great jab. So yeah, he was able to just work him out, get some good shots off in round 3. Round 4, I thought this was a clear Chimaev round. Very competitive still on the feet, so this is impressive for Sean Strickland to win a round basically on the feet. He did get a takedown, didn't really get much with it, but he's able to land his jab well, bust up the nose of Strickland. I think it might have even broken it, but he was able to just put a piston jab on Strickland there, just exchanging jabs a bit. Close round. He outlined Strickland on numbers on a round entirely on the feet, which is very impressive. So I thought it was 2-2 going to round 5. And Sean, this is where Chimaev he started spamming the wrestling here. Sean Strickland he would get mat returned, get back up to his feet, disengage. And he was able to land the bigger shots and ultimately win the fight off of this. And I thought he clearly won this round. This was a very good performance by Sean Strickland. Not the most entertaining fight, but that's to be expected. I thought it was a pretty good thing. And Sean Strickland's the champ again. I think he's very good, and I think he's almost a top 3 middleweight of all time. I think he's just behind Dricus du Plessis. And the first fight I thought Sean won. The first Dricus fight in Toronto, I was there, and I thought Sean won. Close fight though. Second fight, obviously injured Strickland. Rematches never usually go that well when they're kind of built like that. But I would say he's the 4th best middleweight of all time, right above Whitaker, right below Dricus du Plessis. He's got quite the resume now. Chimaev, Izzy in his prime off the Pereira win. Imavov on 5 days' notice, 2 weeks after fighting Cannonier. Cannonier fight was close. Good win over Fluffy not that long ago, who I rate very highly. TKO win over Brendan Allen. So yeah, Sean Strickland's a very good fighter. I think sometimes how he talks, it's maybe underrates him a bit. So on picks, I went 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 4-1, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 7-2, 7-3, 8-3, 9-3, 9-4. So not too bad. Could be worse. I was pretty close on this fight too. I really wanted to pick Sean and I didn't, so I should start doing that more. Um, but yeah, overall really good card. UFC starting to pick up some momentum as of recently. Uh, Apex card next week, Netflix card next week. MMA is starting to pick up here. I'm really liking how it's going with the White House event coming up soon. But that was it, 328, and I will see you in the next one.